When Hunslet kicked off at the Butts Park Arena, there was nothing to indicate their game that afternoon against the Coventry Bears would be one for the ages. But then, where would the fun be if you knew things like that ahead of time? The Yorkshire side travelled to the Midlands off the back of the 4-game unbeaten run, while the Bears had lost their last 3. What was to follow would be quite spectacular. The Bears started brightly and had little trouble making good metres up the field through tireless work from wingers Rhys Rance and then Elliot Wallace. They continued to push forwards, working the tackles, and they were rewarded with a try for Wallace at the end of the set, his first since signing for the Bears last month. It didn't take long for Hunslet to hit back though. First, Vila Halafifi burrowed over from dummy half. Then, centre Matthew Crimes gathered up a clever grubber for his side's second try in 3 minutes. Midway through the first half, the hosts scored again. After some good work in the line from Kieran Sherratt and Matty Wellham, the Bears chanced their arm on the last tackle and made it count with a try from Jack Dawson to reduce the deficit to 2 points. But Hunslet soon stretched their lead with 3 more tries before the half-time hooter. The first was the pick of the bunch, winger Alex Brown rounding off some slick hands with a sublime catch before finishing well in the corner. Brown scored again just after the half-hour mark, after Hunslet had stretched the Bears' defence, before Bradley Hayes' score right before the interval gave the visitors a 28-10 lead at the break. An 18-point deficit became 24 3 minutes into the second half, when Lewis Young waltzed across the width of the field before finding a gap in the Bears' defence to score. At this point, with the conversion giving Hunslet a 34-10 lead, it seemed like game over. However, the Bears are never ones to give up, and they showed some spirit in the 49th minute when Liam Wellham somehow managed to get the ball down to score and bring his side back within 3 scores. But the Bears were caught napping almost immediately on their right edge when Hunslet took a quick penalty and Crimes scored his second try of the afternoon and his side's 7th. On the hour mark, the Bears again gave themselves hope of getting back into the game with another try, this time through hooker Chris Cullymore, who reacted quickly to a clever offload from Brad Clavering to score. But again, Hunslet caught the Bears cold a few minutes later, Crimes finding space on the Bears' right edge to complete his hat-trick. Don Brambrini's conversion made the score 44-22 to Hunslet with just over a quarter of an hour to play. Then came the turnaround. With 12 minutes to go, Dawson bagged his second of the afternoon, crashing onto a lovely delayed pass from Dave Scott to score. 3 minutes later, Bears fans suddenly started to believe when their side scored again, this time through Scott, who followed up his own pass to Clavering to take the return and run in under the posts for his 6th try of the season. Dan Coates' conversion reduced the gap to 10 points with 10 minutes remaining. 4 minutes later, the momentum of the game really started to shift, something set in motion by a superb ball steal from Kieran Sherratt to regain possession for the Bears and give good field position. A few tackles later, they completed the set with another Jack Dawson try, the former Derby Elks player completing his hat-trick and making what had seemed an impossible task suddenly seem possible. And there was still time for more drama. With 2 minutes left, Kieran Sherratt powered his way over the Hunslet line to score the try that completed a superb comeback and bring the game level again to scenes of wild celebration. But there was still a conversion to be nailed, and Dan Coates did the honours to edge the Bears in front. With that, a superb game was done and the full-time hooter was greeted with sheer jubilation in Coventry. After 90 points, 16 tries and a quite staggering comeback, the Bears had earned a 46-44 victory, and a game that will live long in the memory for fans and players on both sides was done.